Today is October 11th, and I want to come with some updates about the committee that got formed to help give advice to federal student aid, as well as updates on Biden's second attempt at student loan forgiveness. Those are the major updates for this week, as well as how to file any kind of complaints if your balance or payments are incorrect. Okay, those are the three things we're going to talk about today. So let's start with topic one. The committee that was formed got together for 5 hours yesterday, and it looks like the consensus from the takeaway was that the theme was very much complaining about servicers, as well as complaining about the lack of options that servicers have given borrowers over the last few decades. That seems to be the major theme, which we already knew that. But the point of these committees, which they are going to meet again in November and December, is part of the process called negotiated rulemaking that essentially will help the Department of Ed get insight from regular Americans who may be borrowers themselves or who work with a lot of student loan borrowers. They have they represent different communities of borrowers. They bring them together, and if they can't come to a consensus on the ways to improve the student loan repayment system, then the Department of Ed will basically take some of the recommendations and make up what they get from the insights, even if they can't come to agreement, and use that to set up how we're going to change the student loan system. There's one thing that's major that can be done, which is that the Department of Ed does have authority to forgive debt for some borrowers. Obviously, the Supreme Court has said not 10 to 20 blanket for $10 to $20,000 of forgiveness blanket to all borrowers, but they definitely have the ability to forgive debt, especially those that have been persistently have issues with their servicer, been persistently have their loans put in forbearance, things like that. The Department of Ed does have authority to forgive those individuals' loans. So if you happen to be in that scenario, you may qualify for some relief, but in the meantime, if you do, like borrowers, for example, who have defaulted and have been put on super high payment plans, and a lot of them called like post-revised pay-as-you-earn, we can get you out of that and put you into a regular repayment plan and lower your payment. So I just want to put that out there. Okay, now for the second update, which is what's happening with the $10,000 to $20,000 of relief. There are rumors going around, and I say rumor, that's not true. It's in the news, so it can't be rumors. There's just no official statement that came out yet. But President Biden is attempting a second attempt at getting $10,000 to $20,000 of forgiveness, except this time instead of using the HEROES Act, he's going to use the Higher Education Act, which is the authority for the Department of Ed to regulate and control, as well as write rules around student loan repayment, as well as program management. So they're going to put together a case under the Higher Education Act. The full details obviously have not been released yet, but I wanted to put that out there, okay? Because as the news comes out, if there's a second attempt, I will keep you all updated in terms of actually filing and creating a case to give $10,000 to $20,000 of forgiveness, okay? I don't know if it's just my side opinion, I don't know if it's just a political stunt in light of the fact that there's an election coming up. So maybe it is a political stunt, or it's a genuine desire to get the loan, the $10,000 to $20,000 forgiven as part of his campaign promise. He's also a politician, so I wouldn't, there's no clear indication that it's not political. Until something's filed with the courts, I'm not 100% sure of the 10 to 20. So I wouldn't be betting on it, is my opinion and position. The third piece of information that I want to give an update on, which is if you have errors and you need to get them adjusted and or file a complaint, okay? Number one, if you have errors on your balance or your payment, the payment that's due this month, absolutely, this is a moment you must communicate with your servicer. Of course, LoanSense, we could help in various ways, including get your payment down, but if there are genuine errors with the payment, like your standard payment plan, and you want to stay on that payment plan, you have to get in touch with your servicer. Obviously, you can call them. The wait times are long. What I would recommend is directly messaging them in your secure portal with be very brief and be very factual, stating what your expected payment should be. And obviously, you can calculate this yourself, or you could go back based off of if you have retained the same balance from before the pandemic. You could say, hey, my payment before my pandemic was $359. Now it's saying my payment is $559. That is incorrect, right? And ask for it to be adjusted as soon as possible. Of course, you could submit it in writing and then give them a call if they don't respond within 3 to 5 days. If your payment is due, I would call them immediately. Like, let's say your payment's due in the next 4 days, call them immediately. If your payment's due at the end of the month, you might have time to secure message them first. If you have persistent issues, of course, I recommend filing a complaint with the Federal Student Aid Office. There is and I have it up here, you could file a complaint with the Federal Student Aid Office, which is 800. I'm going to leave this number below as well, 800-433-3243. Also, there's there's also the CFPB. You can also file a complaint with, which is 855-411-2372. Those are a few places to file complaints if you are having issues and you are contacting your servicer persistently and they are not getting back to you promptly and you are under financial stress because of the lack of response. I would definitely recommend filing a complaint. Although you're frustrated, I, again, recommend keeping it brief to the point so that your case can be made and they can make appropriate adjustments, as well as collect that very important feedback to improve our student loan system. So obviously you do it for yourself, but you do it hopefully it helps others in the process as well. So as there is any news that comes out of this committee in the negotiated rulemaking or Biden's 10 to 20,000 of forgiveness updates, or if you have any issues at all, you can get there's still errors, by the way, on the student aid estimator. So if you need help, for example, because your payments are unaffordable, your payments are wrong, you need help getting into an income-driven plan, you filed, you're not hearing a response, various issues like this, we can definitely be of assistance. Again, I would go to myloansense.com, and you can always get a free plan at app.myloansense.com. We'll leave links below. Hope this information was helpful.